I look on the program that has been printed, I think I should just sit down and say, read the program. We're here today because a skinny kid from Cleveland was too homesick at Ohio State and contacted Coach Eddie Finnegan, who had spoken to him earlier to try and recruit him, to come here instead. Together, when Bones was here, they shared a dream of developing one day an Olympic champion, a world champion. Seeing Jesse Owens run with 4 gold medals from his exploits in Berlin in 1936 made this 13-year-old Harrison want to be just like him. I want to thank all of you for being here to share in this dedication of the sculpture. It's been long overdue, but so significant because it recognizes the greatness of our honoree, Harrison Bones Dillard. We have a beautifully sculpted statue that you'll see soon because of many wonderful people. Thanks to Baldwin Wallace President Bob Helmer, first of all, who accepted the idea immediately, and trustees George Boyer and Bill Carmel, who led the fundraising effort. God bless them. Thanks to friends Rick Ventura and Mike Foley, along with Hall of Famer Jim Rodriguez and Jim Jaworski, all who had been asking me about this idea of a sculpture, but it was Ventura and Foley who made a spark light in me. They lit a fire in my soul, and I realized that as one of his teammates and friend for over 68 years, that maybe I had to provide the leadership. Well, we contacted Dave Deming that day, former president of the Cleveland Institute of Art and a renowned sculptor in Lakewood, to create a small image in wax, about 14 inches tall. I took photos, and those photos helped spark the excitement, and the rest is history. We thank all of our donors and congratulate them on choosing to provide such a lasting inspiration to athletes and students, both of Baldwin Wallace and as well of our wonderful visiting athletes that come here to strive to compete for greatness, to hopefully fulfill their dreams as well. I told a few trustees when we announced the sculpture to Harrison that if he had never worn a pair of spikes, that he had never won a race, had never garnered a record, that in my eyes, Harrison Dillard was a world champion by the way he lived. Harrison Dillard is one of the most humble, gentle human beings you could find. A wonderful family man, a person who dedicated himself to serving the city in which he grew up. He stayed here his entire life. He never made millions like today's track man, but he is a man of character and humility, and God bless him. In addition, he was in the infantry and the front lines in Italy during World War II, served us in the United States Army nobly, and with that, he's a hero as well to all of us. I want to tell you a little story about the kind of guy he was as a teammate. We were teammates for 3 years. Harrison would get invited to go to New York or Boston or Chicago, and they would send him air tickets, which were very expensive at that time, round trip. And instead of using them, he'd give them to Coach Eddie Finnegan, who would go to the airport, cash them in, buy a train ticket to Bones, and give the mile relay, that's the 4x400 relay for those of you who are not familiar with old terms. And we would drive on Route 6, no interstates, 35 miles an hour, staying overnight in tourist homes that cost us $2, and getting $5 a day per diem for our 3 meals. That was Baldwin Wallace. Thank you, Baldwin Wallace. This guy is a treasure to all of Greater Cleveland. He's also the kind of sports hero we need to revere, to honor, and to emulate. And let me share a few of his athletic achievements. At East Tech, a state champion. Here, Ohio Conference champion all 4 years. Here, an All-Ohio champion all 4 years. Here, AAU champion all the years that he was here in college and then beyond for about 12 years straight. National AAU champ in both the highs and the lows. He was a Sullivan Award winner in 1955. He's in 14 halls of fame, the most distinguished halls of fame track athletes could ever hope to get into. And in 1955, as I say, he won the Sullivan Award for the Outstanding Amateur Athlete. In 48, Bones lost his very first hurdle race in the Olympic trials, but he made the team to London a day before by qualifying as the third best man in the 100 meters. Guess what? Always a competitor, he surprised the world by winning gold in the 100 and also as a member of the 4x1 relay team. After graduating in 49, he continued to train, made the 52 Olympic team, went to Helsinki, and won by a small margin, but won the 110-meter hurdles, the race that he had been esteemed to win all his life. And again on the 4x1 relay. 4 gold medals. This equaled his hero, Jesse Owens, who also graduated from East Tech and won 4 golds in Berlin in the Nazi Olympics hosted by Adolf Hitler. We didn't have any games in 1940 or 1944, so the next Olympic Games were in 48. And who wins the 100 meters in 48, the next Olympics after Jesse, but another kid from the same high school, East Tech, Harrison Dillard. This is something that is an unbelievable piece of history. As I close, I want to say that Harrison Dillard also is the only Olympic male athlete to have won both the 100 meters and the 110-meter hurdles. And folks, it will never happen again. Because of the areas of specialization, you will never find someone so skilled as to be able to be proficient in both of those events. And finally, our coach, Eddie Finnegan, was the one who inspired me to come here. Thank you, Eddie. Was the one who inspired Harrison Dillard. Now let's hope that this statue of Harrison on BW's campus, in front of the site of the old stadium where we used to run on cinders, will continue to inspire hundreds of young men and women who dare to dream of greatness someday as Bones did. Thank you all. Thank you, dear friend Harrison, for providing examples for all of us. God bless.